Hello, today is Tuesday, 30th day of July 2019. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. Like always, all bets, trades, and of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Welcome. Let's take a look at Bitcoin remaining boring within this 8-hour term time frame. A little bit of this uptrend in here from this period to this period and going down and sideways, staying within this 18 average, albeit barely, but volatility remains extremely low. A lot of low volatility in here, so not much more to say about it until it does something. Let's move on. Gold and silver is in a low volatile situation too. I talked about the metals last night, so not really anything is changing. That if you want to take a look at that, it's available on the channel. Theta is down 1% against Bitcoin in a very low volatile session. The setup still looks good. It isn't breaking out yet, though. We've had this, was a double interesting buy where good amounts were bought in one click, about 20 minutes apart. First to this high at 1450, and then to about 1380 and change. Price action, of course, fell down to this 11 and change and has been grinding its way higher. A few days just sticking around this 13 level. But until it has any type of move, it's just more of a waiting game still. GRS, gross coin, having the price down today, 8.91% after it was up 30.76 yesterday. Or just a lot of volatility, but still since this point, major support at 32. Had this failed breakout and just really not doing too much, it's going to probably either break down this support and have a good move lower, or eventually get above this high. It's got two layers of resistance that it hit, the 36 and a half level, and again about 38 and a half, that little range in there. Now let's go talk next about Bitcoin Cash. I put this line back in here. It was a big resistance level that it was battling in the month of May, and then obviously lifting, breaking down from there, and a very fast move, losing pretty much exactly that round of half its value, a bit more than that, from just this high, let alone the highs back in March. And then we take a look at this on some shorter terms, on the 3-day term. Price action, just getting in and holding within this 18 average of highs at about 35 handle right now. In the daily chart, well, we can see that we had this resistance hit on July the 20th up to the 18 average of highs, which has been really supporting it for a little while. The high in here is in at 33.06.1. We're higher than that now. This high was 32.76, higher than that. Yep, 33.06 was the high. Well, barely higher than that now. So it looks like it might be breaking that out. When we take a look at this on the shorter term time frame, the 8-hour chart, we can put a line in here and see that this level of resistance, which was tested here on this timestamp, there was also this level as well that it pierced below, but definitely hits it on the July 20th time frame. And after it came back from it, successfully correcting amongst the 18 lows, barely trying to get out, but fails, back to the lows again. And this time when it had this big move, it has just been an onslaught of staying around this 320 price point. Really staying in around, 319, 320. But what we're seeing on this current 8-hour time frame period is how it's leaving this 18 in a very bullish set situation. So seeing this pattern, and as we're going, to me this looks like we should at least on an extremely conservative level hit that 35 level, as well as the 18 average of highs on the 3-day time frame. So like 35 high, I think it should at least make a move up to. Of course, we'll see how everything works out from it, but on the 3-hour term, we have this resistance here, also in here, clear breakout, and nice holding and further acceleration higher right now. On the single hour, there's the move leaving at around 6 o'clock in the morning, coming up to this point. There's your pullback, and now just looking to go higher again. So it looks like we've had this short-term correction, and the price action is looking to move higher. You can see it much more clearly on the 15. Let's surface on next to Ripple in at 3,331 Satoshi against Bitcoin as price action on the triple day chart. Just hanging in there within this 18. But one of the things I can point out and just see in here, okay, well, we have like this like ascending triangle kind of look in here. And will the shorter term time frame give us any better indication of such? Well, yeah, we have this resistance on July the 17th, which came up to a high of 3,347. Our intraday high is 3,370. So it has taken it out already. And we've been seeing a lot of this just hanging in there within the 18 highs as it's starting to turn around and revert the trend. So a lot of bullish signs are pointing out, hey, yeah, this thing at least could fill some of this empty space, maybe come to this previous resistance or support as resistance as 4,000 at the 4,000, maybe here at the 47, and then looking back again at the triple day chart. Those are potential levels of resistance, and they can be bullish levels of resistance. Maybe it comes up to 44, and then it pulls back to 35, and then it breaks 44, and then it goes to 71, and so on and so forth. As these previous highs at time could very easily be retested, but of course there's no guarantee on that. 8-hour term time frame. We can see an obvious uptrend in here. That's not even close to a good drawing. That's a bit better, but still. So however you want to draw it, it's got a bit to go, I think, to hit this upper end of this resistance. But within the market sentiment and the the movements of it rather, we had this high here at this period in here, pulls back with this nice red candle move that comes near the 18 lows, getting it all back in its next period, and how it corrects, grinding its way lower very slowly but surely, but doing so and making a higher low. And in this area, supporting what was resistance in here and what was resistance in here. So this level of support worked out to previous resistance. That's the thing you want to see in bullish corrections. And then you get above it, you break whatever downtrend line. So obviously that was taken out. Then you get to previous high, and a lot of times you look to take it out. Now, when you get to previous high, one of the things that I'd be looking for is, okay, shorter term support. We're in a rising 18, and where would be the likely event in here? But this is probably around here. That would keep the trend bullish, all that type of stuff, and that would be one of the areas I'd want to see it hold, but you want to see it more clearly on the shorter term time frames, and you can see it better that way. We can see how it's within this trend, at least from this low in here. We have a nice little rally in here, new high from this previous 31.5, successfully corrects, new high from here, goes below it, and technically is a higher low. But this little move in here wasn't able to make a new high, nor was this move. But both of these moves were unable to break below on the 18 lows on its correction that happened afterwards. So we made this high, correct the 18. We make this high, correct the 18. And we can see that there were 5 periods in which it just stayed within the 18 highs like this. So now you have this significant break 3 periods ago, or 2 before this, and come up and make a new high. So that area where we want to come from, and it's already pulled back already to the key areas of support, well, the previous resistance here, here, and here. Now the deepest I'd want to really go is in here, because that would be within the 18. I'd prefer the 18 average of lows to meet up, so maybe in a couple periods. Or even if it pierces below and then recovers within the period or into the next period above the 18 of lows as well. That's another way I like to see 18 lows. I guess sort of like this here, how it has a sharp move down to the lows, goes below it, but it totally holds and stays above it big time. And then when we look at this on the single hour term time frame, so we had the move up to 7 in the morning. This goes up to 33.68, already down to 33.01. That's a 2% move. Into just finding a correctionary mode within the 18 highs. So therefore, that shows you the importance of holding, because if the hold doesn't happen, then we're looking at a failed breakout. And you already know, if you've been watching this channel, what's going to happen on a failed breakout more times than not. But within market corrections, what you're always going to have in a spot like this is you're going to have the key high, which is so obvious, and you're going to have levels of resistance that are key. And I really can't see too much on the hour. I got this high in here, and this is pulling back now nicely, getting close to this area here, like around the 32.82 mark. But just the decent sized moves, we'll probably see something clearly on the 5. So yes, resistance has been established here. That's what I'm looking for. Key spot. Short term, we get above that. Well, yeah, we'll be ready to go. Now, having a deeper correction, you have to look more towards those time frames that I just passed on, which was stating in the areas of where we come back to just could be in play. And this, to me, again, would be like a must hold area. We're going to finish off with the 1 because I'm curious about how this is happening now. Yeah. When these things can break down, they can just be like, you have a lot of this grinding, just slow and sure moves, and then they can just happen in a fast move as well. Just this single minute, the price fell 0.81%. So that's volatility. Let's see if there's any volatility anywhere else. Yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's up that amount. So that wasn't Ripple. Well, I mean, that was Ripple losing its Bitcoin. But that was just Ripple not going up like it did. Bitcoin was up 1.36% in just this minute. So I started this video saying, yeah, not much is going on. Well, does this change anything in the not much going on? Well, we come back and we test this previous level of resistance. Okay, must hold area, 95.5. On any pullbacks, which resembles this previous level of resistance. But when it broke above here, I would have said the must area, hold area was the same. And I mean, it's sort of did. It had some pierces below, but every single time it went down below, it recovered it relatively quick. But now it's had this substantial move. We'll see if it means anything. It's got a long ways to go, of course, to really get out of any of this major sideways neutrality. Because even a good rally, this thing goes up to 12,000. It's going to be, it's not a big guarantee. Oh, this thing's going to just continue going further, because we could very easily find a lot of this choppy up and down type of action on any decent break that comes out above here, meaning volatile back up and down type of movements. But let's just take a quick look at a bunch of other coins on the 1 minute. This is the gross coin, which we started off earlier on, now breaking down below the 32. This is Komodo against Bitcoin, so Bitcoin dominance is probably going to be doing fairly well. And there's Bitcoin Cash, which I just recently talked about earlier, having a little bit of a fall as well. But again, when we look at, let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash against the US dollar. It's in at 319, looking at the 1 minute term. On the 8 hour, let me just get rid of this line. It's been in this long sideways consolidation pattern from July 13th. So another attempt in trying to get above it. It had that attempt on July 26th, unable to succeed. And then there was this big attempt to break it out on July the 20th, which wasn't able to succeed. And then on the daily term time frame, having a lot of this just hanging in there within this 18 that's declining. That's to me that's a good signal overall, especially after we've had this this downtrend, this down move from this high of about 500 down to 3. That it's just now it's hanging in there, resisting this level enough for the 18 to now go sideways, neutrality within it. And the more you test these resistance levels, the more likely it is you take it out. So getting above this, a quick move to like the high 300s would not be a surprise. Anyway, that'll be it for this morning's video. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.